Today is the first day of this March 2026 7-day session, and I'm going to be reading from a book of teachings from Ajahn Chah, the Thai forest master. It's entitled, Everything Arises, Everything Falls Away. The subtitle is Teachings on Impermanence and the End of Suffering. Ajahn Chah was born either in 1918 or 1919, I've seen both dates, and died in 1992. And he traveled to this country. He's the teacher of many of the Theravadan monks in the Thai forest tradition. Think especially of Ajahn Sumedho in England and Ajahn Brahm in Australia and many others. And also was a teacher of Jack Kornfield, Paul Breiter, someone else whose name I'm forgetting. Very simple and direct teaching, and really, really fundamental Buddhist teaching. I'm going to launch right in, starting with the first chapter entitled Understanding Mind. And he says, in meditation practice, we work to develop mindfulness so that we will be constantly aware. This is what we're doing. You all know the story about the monk, many of you do, who came to a Zen master and asked, who was doing calligraphy, could you write me out some sort of maxim that that I could carry with me in my practice. And the master took up his brush and wrote the character attention. And the guy who'd come to him said, "Oh yeah, attention, that's great. Could you add a little more?" And the master wrote, "Attention, attention." Says, "Okay, yeah, that's good, but what does attention mean anyway?" And the teacher wrote, "Attention, attention, attention." So simple and direct, and we complicate it so quickly. We step in and start analyzing and judging and stepping away from the immediate seeing. Direct experience. Central teaching of Zen, and really of all of Buddhism. We work to develop mindfulness so that we will be constantly aware. Working with energy and patience, the mind can become firm. Then whatever sense phenomena we experience, whether agreeable or disagreeable, and whatever mental phenomena such as reactions of gladness or dejection, we will see them clearly. This seeing them clearly is such I've come to understand such a important aspect of practice, to know what we're feeling, to know when we're bummed out, to know when we're excited, over-elated, to know the mind. It's not hidden, but we get caught up and we miss it. He says, phenomena are one thing and the mind is another. They're separate masters. They are separate matters. I often tell the story of how I came to Zen, walking through the woods in Vermont and seeing a mushroom growing out of a tree, shelf mushroom. And I said to a friend, "Oh, that's disgusting." And my friend said, "Well, you know, Alan Watts would say it's your mind that's disgusting." Phenomena are one thing and the mind is another. When something contacts the mind and we're pleased by it, we want to pursue it. When something is displeasing, we want to escape from it. This is not seeing the mind, but running after phenomena. Phenomena are phenomena, mind is mind. Or we could say things are things, states are states. We have to separate them and recognize what the mind is and what phenomena are. Then we can be at ease. This is a point that Ajahn Chah makes again and again. Our dis-ease is our confusion, our belief in things that are impermanent, our failure to distinguish phenomena and mind. He says when someone speaks harshly to us and we get angry, it means that we are deluded by phenomena and are following after them. The mind is caught in its objects and follows after its moods. For many of us, so much of our mental content is devoted to the moods that we're in. I feel good, I feel bad. Finally, this is working. Oh no, this is gonna fail like everything else. We don't think to step out of that. Even in Zazen, we're subject to that kind of delusion. And Ajahn Chah says, please understand that all these things we experience externally and internally are nothing but deceptions. They are nothing certain or true. And pursuing them, we lose our way. The Buddha wanted us to meditate and see the truth of them, the truth of the world. The world is the phenomena of the six senses. Phenomena are the world. If we don't understand the Dharma, if we don't know the mind and don't know phenomena, then the mind and its objects get mixed together. And then we experience suffering and feel that our minds are suffering. We feel our minds are wandering, uncontrollably experiencing different unhappy conditions, changing into different states. That's not really the case. There aren't many minds, but many phenomena. But if we aren't aware of ourselves, we don't know our minds, and so we follow after these things. People say, my mind is upset, my mind is unhappy, my mind is scattered. But that's not really true. The mind isn't anything. The defilements are. People think their minds aren't comfortable or happy, but actually the mind is the most comfortable and happy thing. We think we have to work to become aware. But that's what the mind is. The mind is awareness. Can turn around so quickly. Just have to drop something. Drop our preoccupation with results. with mind states, with moods, with anticipating the future, with regretting the past, with worrying about how we look to others. Am I a success? Am I a failure? Again, he says, when we experience the different unsatisfactory states, that is not the mind. Make note of this. When you are experiencing these things in the future, remember, Ajahn Chah said, this is not the mind. We are practicing to reach the mind, the old mind, the original mind, the unconditioned mind. In it, there is no good or bad, long or short, black or white. But we are not content to remain with this mind because we don't look at and understand things clearly. Dharma is beyond the habits of the ordinary mind. Before we have trained well, we may mistake wrong for right and right for wrong. So it's necessary to listen to teaching to gain understanding of Dharma and be able to recognize Dharma in our own mind. Foolishness is in the mind. Intelligence is in the mind. Darkness and delusion exist in the mind. Knowledge and illumination exist in the mind. It's like a dirty plate in your home that's filthy with grime and grease, or a dirty floor. Using soap and water to wash it, you can remove the dirt. When the dirt is gone, you have a clean plate or a clean floor. Here, the thing that's soiled is the mind. When we practice correctly, a clean thing is found, just like with the dirty floor that is made clean. When the dirt is scrubbed off, the condition of being clean appears. It's only the dirt that obscures it. The mind in its natural state, the true mind, is something that is stable and undefiled. It's bright and clean. It becomes obscured and defiled because it meets with sense objects and comes under their influence through liking and disliking. The great way is not difficult for those who do not pick and choose. When preferences are cast aside, the way stands clear and undisguised. Goes on, it's not that the mind is inherently defiled, but that it is not yet established in Dharma, so phenomena can stain it. The nature of the original mind is unwavering, it is tranquil. We are not tranquil because we are excited over sense objects, and we end up as slaves to the changing mental states that result. So practice really means searching to find our way back to the original state, the old thing. It is finding our old home, the original mind that does not waver and change following various phenomena. It is by nature perfectly peaceful, and it is something that is already within us. The Indian sage Ramana Maharshi said, "The moment the ego is completely surrendered, the self shines." The moment we drop our burden of picking and choosing, the delusion that we're some sort of separate self. Next chapter is, our section is titled Understanding Phenomena. And he says, Ajahn Chah says, the causes for not being peaceful are within us. They manifest when we are deluded by internal and external phenomena. What we have to do is train the mind in correct view. We don't see correctly, so we are going a different way, and we are thus experiencing everything as too short, too long, too something. Correct means to see the characteristics of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and lack of self in all we experience, meaning our bodies and minds. So that's just a phrasing for the three marks of existence the Buddha taught. Impermanence, dukkha or suffering, she has as unsatisfactoriness, and no self. There is no separate self. Ajahn Chah says, all things just as they are display the truth. But we have biases and preferences about how we want them to be. We are practicing to become like the Buddha, the knower of the world. And the world is these phenomena abiding as they are. It's one of those things, it's so simple to say. It is what it is. It's trite now, it's a cliche. But really, it is what it is. He says, when objects of mind arise, whether internally or externally, those are what we call sense phenomena and mental activity. The one who is aware of phenomena is called, well, whatever you want to call it is okay. You can call it mind. The phenomena is one thing, and the one who knows it is another. It's like the eye and the form it sees. The eye isn't the objects aren't the eye. The ear hears sounds, but the ear isn't the sound, and the sound isn't the ear. When there is contact between the two, then things happen. Our attitude towards these five skandhas, body, sensations, perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness, this is a Buddhist teaching, can say our attitude towards phenomena. He says these heaps that we see right here should be one of dispassion and detachment because they don't follow our wishes. I think that's probably enough. If they survive, they shouldn't be overly joyful to the point, we shouldn't be overly joyful to the point of forgetting ourselves. If they break up, we shouldn't be overly dejected by that. Recognizing this much should be enough. Of course, we're caught up in trying to control, to keep what we like, to avoid losing what we like, and to avoid what we dislike. He says, recognizing this much should be enough. It's such a powerful insight just to see this, to understand it in your guts, not as some foreign teaching. Pasted over your life. We run up against this truth every moment, again and again and again. Yet somehow it doesn't sink all the way in, does it? He says, whether we are undertaking insight meditation or tranquility meditation, this is a translation, I think, of vipassana or shamatha. So in Zen we would say prajna or samadhi. Whatever practice we have, this is what it's really about. But nowadays, it seems to me that when Buddhists talk about these things according to the traditional explanation, it becomes vague and mixed up. But the truth isn't vague or mixed up. It remains as it is. So I feel it's better to seek out the source, looking at the way things originate in the mind. There's not a lot to this. It is said, this world of beings, ruled by aging and impermanence, is not long-lasting. Beings means us. We are called human beings. There are different beings different from us, such as animal beings, cattle and fowl, for example, but for all of them, aging is a fact of their existence. The decay of the various constituents of their physical bodies. These things are always changing. They don't have freedom to remain, but must follow the way of sankhara, conditioned phenomena. The world of beings is thus, and we find ourselves always dissatisfied. Our emotions of love and hate never bring us satisfaction. We never feel we have enough, but are always somehow obstructed. Simply speaking, as we say in our local idiom, we are people who don't know enough. We aren't satisfied to be what we are. That's the beginning of real practice. To be satisfied to be what we are. What else could we be? Everyone is the result of causes and conditions. How we came into this world, how we were treated, what happened. We all carry scars, don't we? And we are what we are. It's actually wonderful just to be who you are. We're not anything permanent, not anything fixed. We're a process. Go left or go right, go up or go down. Let go or hang on more tightly. Goes on. So our minds waver endlessly, always changing into good and bad states with the different phenomena we encounter, like a cow not satisfied with its own tail. With unstable minds, we're always in this unsatisfied state, no matter what we experience. We become slaves to desire. We worry about getting what we want, then we get it. We worry about losing it, or we get tired of it. It's just this constant striving that never brings true satisfaction. Because we're working in the world of manipulating the impermanent, chasing after things that can't stay. It says we become slaves to desire. Being a slave is a state of great suffering. A slave must always obey the master, even when told to do something that might get him killed. But with our craving, we're always eager and willing to follow its orders. Because of our self-cherishing habits, we are thus ruled. This world of beings actually has no ruler. It is we ourselves who rule our own lives because we have the power to decide on doing good or doing evil. No one else does these for us. This world of beings has nothing of its own. Nothing belongs to anyone. Seeing this with correct view, we will release our grip, just letting things be. Coming into this world and realizing its limitations, we do our business. We seek a profit in the way of building the paramitas, the spiritual perfections. Next section is entitled, That's About Right. And he says, where is Dharma? The entire Dharma is sitting here with us. Whatever you experience is right, just as it is. When you've gotten old, don't think that's something wrong. When your back is aching, don't think that's some kind of mistake. If you are suffering, don't think that's wrong. If you're happy, don't think that's wrong. All of this is Dharma. Suffering is merely suffering. Happiness is merely happiness. Hot is merely hot. Cold is merely cold. It's not that I am happy, I am suffering, I am good, I am bad, I gained something, I lost something. What is there that can be lost by a person? There's nothing at all. Gaining something is Dharma, losing it is Dharma, being happy and comfortable is Dharma, being ill at ease is Dharma. It means not grasping onto all these conditions, but recognizing what they are. If you have happiness, you realize, oh, happiness is not permanent. If you are suffering, you realize, oh, suffering is not permanent. Oh, this is really good, that's not permanent. This is bad, really bad, not permanent. They have their limits, so don't hold firmly onto them. Zen master Rinzai in Japanese, said, one who is without obsession is noble. When you go searching elsewhere outside yourself, your whole approach is already mistaken. You try to seek Buddhahood, but Buddhahood is just a name, an expression. Do you know the one who is doing the searching? The Buddha taught about impermanence. This is the way things are. They don't follow anyone's wishes. This is noble truth. Impermanence rules the world, and that is something permanent. This is the point we are deluded at, so this is where you should be looking. Whatever occurs, recognize it as right. Everything is right in its own nature, which is ceaseless motion and change. Our bodies exist thus. Ajahn Sumedho says, right now it's like this. And Ajahn Chah says, all phenomena of body and mind exist thus. We can't stop them. They can't be stilled. Not being stilled means their nature of impermanence. If we don't struggle with this reality, then wherever we are, we will be happy. Wherever we sit, we are happy. Wherever we sleep, we are happy. Even when we get old, we don't make a big deal out of it. You stand up and your back hurts and you think, yeah, that's about right. It's right, so don't fight it. When the pain stops, you might think, that's better. But it's not better. You're still alive, so it will hurt again. This is the way it is, so you have to keep turning your mind to this contemplation and not let it back away from the practice. Joko Beck said, "What makes it miserable is your mistaken belief it can be cured." Ajahn Chah says, "Keep steadily at it and don't trust in things too much. Trust the Dharma instead, that life is like this. Don't believe in happiness. Don't believe in suffering. Don't get stuck in following after anything." With this kind of foundation, then whatever occurs, never mind. It isn't anything permanent. It isn't anything certain. The world is like this. Then there is a path for us, a path to manage our lives and protect ourselves. With mindfulness and clear awareness of ourselves, with all-encompassing wisdom, that is the path in harmony. Nothing can deceive us because we have entered the path. Constantly looking here, we are meeting the Dharma at all times. We think we know this, and intellectually we do, but we have to get it into our heart. We have to see it again and again. One of the great virtues of Sesshin is that it's difficult. Inevitably, there's either physical or mental pain for everyone. It comes and it goes. Sesshin itself rises and falls. To meet with adversity is actually good fortune. This is how we gain strength. It's how we gain sympathy for others. How we gain equanimity. How many times are we going to buy into some sob story or some disaster scenario? Keeps coming back again and again to the mind. Comes back because it's invited. Gets listened to. But really, everything is going to change. I think we have time for one more section. This one's entitled Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You could say we are sentient beings working to become awakening beings, bodhisattvas. This is just the same as the Lord Buddha did. In the repentance ceremony we chant, in the past, they were like us. In the future, we will become Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Everyone is evolving. Doesn't matter where you are on the continuum, if we can talk about that. Just what direction are you going to go in? Ajahn Chah says, when the mind is obscured by desire, aversion, and delusion, that's a sentient being. But whenever we have the Brahma Vihara, the divine abidings of loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy, and equanimity established in our hearts, then we can be called excellent beings, or we could also be called bodhisattvas. Loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy. The Sanskrit for empathetic joy is mudita. Think of all the different Brahma Viharas. That one is my favorite. It's the joy in others' success. Remember as a young Zen student how dismayed I could feel when somebody else seemed to be doing well. What an idiot. And the final one is equanimity, or upekkha. So much of what he's pointing to is equanimity. Being able to be with things as they are. Being able to endure when that's called for. Not getting carried away. He says, in the past, the one who was to become the Lord Buddha was also merely a human being, but he developed himself into an extraordinary being, one who was suffused with the Brahma Viharas, and thus he was called the Bodhisattva. Then, through his persistent contemplation to know the truth, to know the facts of impermanence, suffering, and lack of a self, he attained to full knowledge and was awakened as the Buddha. So don't get the idea there was only one Buddha. The one Buddha is actually the Sakadhamma, the truth, and whoever is awakened to that is Buddha. There may be hundreds or thousands of Buddhas, but they will all follow in this same track, that of correct view. Yes, there is one Buddha, meaning right view. Whoever awakens to that is not different from the Buddha. So the Buddha and sentient beings are not far apart. This is something to be realized within. Realizing the truth of original mind, we will see that it is impossible to describe or give to another. There is no way to show it, nothing to compare it to. It is beyond speech or concept. Teaching others, we rely on externals to transmit ideas, but realization of the truth must be accomplished by each individual. This is the spirit of Zen, directly pointing to the mind, beyond words and scriptures. All the words, all the teachings are like a finger pointing to the moon. Don't look to the finger, look to the moon. Just right here. Beyond thought. Really, there's no problem. All that's required is just simple awareness. We don't have to decide, I'll realize this and I'll find out that, and then this will happen and that'll happen. Just open your eyes. Each one of us has a simple practice. Just Take it up. Give yourselves to it and let it play out. Conditions are good. We're in Sesshin. So many other people around us. We need to do is stick to our knitting. Keep it simple. Time is up. We'll stop here and recite the 4 vows.